Have you ever stopped to think about how much your confidence can shape the world around you? I'm not talking about that superficial confidence, which lives on appearances or depends on what others think. I'm talking about something deeper, something that touches on the roots of your self-esteem. It's the way you see yourself, how you deal with your own thoughts, and how it affects your relationships with others and the world. Now, think with me. How many times do we let external noise throw us off balance? How many times do judgments from others shake our self-esteem, making us stop believing in our own potential? How many opportunities have you missed simply because you didn't believe you were capable? Have you ever felt this way? Too often, we become prisoners of an invisible narrative, written by outside voices that tell us who we are or what we can be. But the truth? This prison has no padlock. It is just an illusion, created by fear, constant comparison, and the need for approval. Now, imagine, what if, for a moment, you started to trust yourself more, in your own journey? What if you decided that the most important opinion is yours? Think about it. Trust is like an internal flame that needs to be fed daily. But to what extent is this flame your ally? Could it be that, at some point, it can become an enemy, a trap? Let's explore this together, because the line between the healthy and the harmful, between the necessary and the excessive, is much thinner than it seems. And this line has a profound impact on your relationships, your work and, especially, the way you experience life. Have you ever felt that your self-esteem fluctuates with circumstances? Together, we will explore the roots of trust and how it can be built in a solid way, without relying on external factors. And most importantly, to what extent can this confidence and self-esteem be your greatest allies or your greatest obstacles? If you're ready to dive deep into this subject and figure out how to turn your self-confidence from an uncertain spark into an unshakable flame, stay with me. Subscribe to the channel and get access to an arsenal of knowledge that can truly change your life. This is just the beginning of a journey of self-discovery and growth. Have you ever wondered how much your confidence and self-esteem influence your life? Your choices, your relationships, even the way you position yourself in the world. Many of us live in a cycle of self-criticism and doubt, not realizing that the way we see ourselves is the basis for everything we build. But what exactly are confidence and self-esteem? Confidence is the belief in your abilities, the ability to act and face life's challenges. It's that quiet voice inside you that says, "I can do it," even when the path seems uncertain. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is linked to the value you place on yourself, how much you appreciate and respect yourself, regardless of external circumstances. But why is this so important? Because without confidence and self-esteem, our inner foundations become fragile. Imagine trying to build a house on unstable ground. No matter how beautiful the structure is, on the first impact, everything falls apart. Likewise, without confidence and self-esteem, we face difficulties in achieving our goals, whether personal or professional. Brené Brown, in her book The Courage to Be Imperfect, talks about how true trust is born of vulnerability. And do you know what that means? That being vulnerable is not a sign of weakness, but of courage. Courage to accept your imperfections and, at the same time, believe in your worth. And it is in this acceptance that you find the strength to move forward. Have you ever stopped to think about whether your self-esteem is healthy or harmful? We often confuse self-esteem with ego or arrogance. But healthy self-esteem is a balanced assessment of ourselves, where we recognize our strengths and accept our weaknesses. Harmful self-esteem, on the other hand, is when we depend on comparisons to feel good, validating our value only when we feel superior to others. And herein lies the danger. Have you ever felt this way? If your value depends on what others think or what you see on social media, your self-esteem becomes fragile, subject to constant fluctuations. This can lead to feelings of anxiety, insecurity, and even depression. Charles Duhigg, in The Power of Habit, shows us how contemporary society, shaped by unconscious habits and constant comparison, affects our perception of ourselves. Social media creates an illusion of perfection, where we measure our worth by likes, comments, and followers. But this comparison is a trap, isn't it? True self-esteem is not built from what others see in you, but from what you recognize in yourself. And there's more. Childhood plays a crucial role in the formation of our self-esteem. Often, the beliefs we carry since childhood shape our view of the world and ourselves in adult life. Louise Hay, in Grow and Flourish, talks about how these beliefs formed in childhood can be reprogrammed. And it is possible to create a new narrative of self-worth, regardless of what we experienced in the past. Trust doesn't come out of nowhere. It is built, brick by brick, through the experiences and challenges we face. A key concept in this process is self-efficacy, the belief in one's own abilities. People with a growth mindset, as Carol Dweck explains in The Mindset, believe that they can evolve and improve with effort and practice. This mindset builds solid confidence, because it's grounded in reality. You can continually learn and improve. But there is something even more important. Trust develops through action. Stoicism, a practical philosophy, teaches that in order to strengthen our confidence, we need to take action, even in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, talks about not letting ourselves be paralyzed by fear or doubt. Every time you face a challenging situation, even if you feel fear, you are strengthening your confidence. Have you ever thought about it? With each small victory, your self-confidence grows, like a fortress being built. And over time, these achievements accumulate, creating a solid foundation that is difficult to shake. The secret is to start small. Set realistic goals. Have you ever dealt with that incessant inner critic? The one who insists on reminding us of all our faults and mistakes, as if they were irrefutable proof that we are not good enough? I think we've all been there, don't we? But here's an important point, that critical voice is not you. Eckhart Tolle, in The Power of Now, teaches us that it is essential to observe this inner critic, without identifying with him. By becoming aware of this internal dialogue, we can begin to challenge these negative narratives and replace them with more constructive and realistic thoughts. It's not easy, but it's liberating when we do it. What about fear? Fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of not being accepted. These fears are limiting, and often stem from past experiences that we carry with us. But if there's one thing Stoicism teaches, it's that we should accept what we can't control and focus only on what's within our reach. The failure? He is part of the process. Accepting failure as a natural step is key to overcoming these fears and moving forward with confidence. But there is one more trap that we need to talk about: perfectionism. Russ Harris, in The Happiness Trap, warns us about the danger of perfectionism. Trying to be perfect in everything can paralyze us, for fear of making mistakes. But here's the key point: true confidence comes precisely from the acceptance that making mistakes is part of learning. We don't have to be perfect to be worthy of respect or value. Now that we've talked about barriers, let's explore some practices that can strengthen your self-esteem and confidence in a deep and lasting way. The first of these is self-affirmation. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But asserting yourself daily is a powerful practice. And I'm not talking about repeating empty mantras, but about consciously recognizing your qualities and achievements, no matter how small they may be. Louise Hay, one of the pioneers in the field of affirmations, teaches that saying something as simple as "I am enough" may seem insignificant at first. But over time, these words change the way you see yourself. Especially in times of doubt or challenge, this practice can make a big difference. Another powerful strategy: the cultivation of gratitude. When we focus on what we have already achieved, on the small daily victories, our mindset changes from scarcity to abundance. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of valuing what we already have as a path to peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, suggests that we should be grateful even for adversity, as it offers us opportunities to practice virtues such as patience and resilience. Now, stop and think, how many times have you been grateful for something challenging you faced? This mindset of gratitude builds a solid foundation of trust, because it stops focusing on external validation and starts valuing the riches that already exist in your life. And speaking of Stoicism, one of the most powerful practices for strengthening confidence and self-esteem is to accept reality and change your perspective. Epictetus, in On the Tranquility of the Soul, teaches us that we do not control what happens around us, but we can control how we react to it. It sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. When we accept that certain factors are beyond our control, we begin to focus on what we can really influence: our thoughts, our actions, our attitude. And you know what's amazing about it? This acceptance sets us free. It allows us to stop fighting the inevitable and focus on what we can change. And when you focus on what you can control, your confidence grows. Because, despite adversity, you can always choose how to react. Trust isn't just about you. It directly affects your relationships. Think about the people you connect with the most. They're probably the ones who have a healthy level of self-confidence, right? And do you know why? Because confident people feel secure in themselves, which allows them to build more authentic connections. Trust acts like a magnet. People who trust themselves radiate an energy that attracts others. And more than that, they build relationships based on mutual respect. When you recognize your worth, you don't have to compete, please, or diminish yourself to be accepted. And that's one of the greatest freedoms trust can provide. This brings us to another important point: assertiveness. Confident people are assertive, which means they can express their opinions. Now, think with me, in the professional environment, how important is trust? It is one of the main factors that drive success. Confident leaders are able to inspire their teams, make tough decisions without hesitation, and guide their companies with clarity and determination. Have you ever worked with someone like this? Leaders who exude confidence create an environment where people feel safe to express their ideas and contribute meaningfully. When you trust yourself, that trust naturally spreads to others. And that's crucial. Successful teams are a direct reflection of the trust that exists in the environment. Want to grow in your career? Developing your confidence is essential. This is because confidence will be the pillar that will support all your achievements. Not only because it allows you to make decisions with confidence, but also because it helps you deal with challenges and even failures in a more resilient way. So what's the big lesson here? Confidence and self-esteem are not just desirable qualities, they are essential. They are the invisible foundations that sustain our greatest achievements. Without them, we are like trees planted in unstable soil, unable to grow and flourish. But with them, we are unshakable. Even in the face of the most violent storms, we remain steadfast, because our confidence and self-esteem do not depend on external factors. They come from within. But here's a warning: building solid trust is not a quick or easy process. It requires reflection, self-knowledge, and, above all, action. You'll need to challenge yourself, step out of your comfort zone, and sometimes face your fears head-on. But the result? What you will find at the end of this journey is something priceless: the certainty that no matter what happens, you have the power to face any challenge and live according to your true worth. And now, what are you going to do? If you've made it this far, it means that you're committed to transforming your life and taking your self-confidence to the next level. But remember, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more knowledge waiting for you. Want to continue this journey? So, don't miss this opportunity to learn more, grow more, and become the person you know you can be. I'll wait for you in the next video.